What do we have here? We got the Gavko, no, it's not a thresher, Nurse Shark. And we're going to do an unboxing.
Unboxing?
What the fuck is that, you ask? Well, we're starting out kind of backwards. Like maybe in a normal unboxing, you might unbox it, check it out a little bit, and take it apart and see what's inside of it. Look at all its little goochers and gadgets that are in there. I don't even know what that is. It looks like a little baby fish maybe or something. I don't know. And then maybe you put it back together. Well, I don't know, whatever you do. But in this case, what we're going to do is start with it in pieces, put it back together, then put it in a box to ship it out. Because this got shipped to me by a friend, like an internet knife buddy, and he wanted it prettied up. So it used to be this green color in there. I tried not to mess with, some parts of it, like that part inside there. Left it green. And you can see it there too. And so what I did was on this one, I made it sort of this purpley, pinky color, then rock tumbled it, then did like a yellow. So that's what all those little yellow specks are, is all the little rock scratches done with yellow. And then for the other side, did like a kind of like a fade that I thought maybe a shark would have, like darker on top and lighter, on the belly kind of look. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell the fade. If you see it in person, the fade's pretty obvious, but on the camera, I don't know if you can see it too well. Anyway, it's there. And then the blade got trimmed. It was more blunt, kind of like a wraparound like this, and now it's just a little more pointy. And so that's all we did with that. Put a little tiny bit of a break on these edges so it's not sharp on the edge. And other than that, it's, the pocket clip got some yellow, or like a goldish. And then we didn't really like that, so I sanded that off, but left a tiny bit of it just to kind of show through. And then did this sort of a dark bluish color over that, so it looks, I don't know, pretty neat, I think. So, let's put it back together. I might do this in, I might use my turbo mode spell that I have that makes me move faster and appear as though, I'm on speed. So you want to put these washers back the same way they were. You can see the little marks from the bearings, so you want to put it that same way back in. Don't want to put it in upside down. It's funny how that is able to move around in there a little bit. Normally they'd be pretty tight in the circle, but as long as the pivot holds it in the center, then it's fine. This is the what they call the steel insert, or hardened steel insert, sometimes they say, and hopefully it is hardened. And the point of it is so that you don't have titanium pushing up against your the back of your blade, because that would get worn fairly quick. Pivot has the little G on there, so we're thinking that it would want to show, well, okay, that's wrong. Actually isn't on that side, so it is on this side. The way you can tell is because the pivot has a little cutout in it. You can see right there. And that sets into that little space that sticks up, or that space that sticks up sticks into this little cutout. And what that does, it's the same as a D-shaped pivot, but better, because D-shaped pivots aren't round. So when the blade is trying to turn around a D-shaped pivot, well, it's not round, so it sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck, it works fine. But this type of situation works better, in my opinion. And typically the way washers go in the open side of the washer goes toward if there's a cutout. And so that's the cutout. The blade doesn't have a cutout. So the open side goes toward the cutout, and then that closed side of the washers, or the bearings, goes towards whatever's flat. Sometimes the blade has a cutout and the handle is flat, so you'd do it the other way around then. So this guy goes on here now. We have a stop pin right there. So we'll get that guy in there. There ain't much more to it. So now you put the bearings on this side, same way, facing up. And then this is the little washer, so we want to find the side that has the bearing marks on it and put it down on top of the bearings. Okay, and then we put the handle on. The other side of the handle. And a lot of times it won't want to go on, you know? It won't sit exactly right. You might have to, so when there's pressure from the lock bar on the blade is now pushing back against the stop pin, and it's just a hot mess. So sometimes what I like to do is press down the lock bar, pull the blade in a bit, and press real good between these two fingers so I'm holding it so it's not going to pop open, right? Then we can put on this guy. It's kind of surprising that they don't have the Gavko G on the show side, which is this side. I don't know why I won't screw in. Let's get a driver. It almost feels like it's got the Loctite on it or something. Interesting. Well, that's going to make it so that it doesn't come loose easy. Now we want the other small screw that goes in the back. You want to make sure you keep track of your screws if they're different lengths, right? Because this one is a little shorter than the ones that hold the pocket clip on. So if I had tried to switch them around, the short guys wouldn't be long enough to hold the pocket clip on. And then the pocket clip ones would be too long and maybe hit in the middle of this standoff. I don't know. So now, let's see how it feels. Definitely not centered. And I'm thinking that's because it's just too loose up here still. Oh, that feels better. Oh, look at that. Nice. Very nice. Oof, that's nice. Okay, let's just make sure everything's tightened up here before I go messing with the pocket clip and forget something. And man, if you have a nice pretty finish on your knife, you want to make sure you got good pressure on your wrench when you're trying to twist stuff and tighten it up so you don't slip off and just slide your wrench right down, or slide the driver right down the scale. I mean, maybe you don't care if you do that. Some people, you know, they use their shit and they don't care if it looks like shit. So, oof, man, that is nice. Nice and drop shutty. The oil on my fingers is kind of making the surface look not as good. Getting on the blade, getting on everything. Boy, that is a pretty thing. Let's get that clip on, see what it looks like on here. So the clip has longer screws, for whatever reason. At least I hope they are. I hope I didn't get them backwards. We'll find out. If they stick out into the body, then that means I got the wrong ones. But I think I remember that they were pretty long, and it was surprising. So let's see. How's that look on there? You can, with pocket clip like this, you can sometimes move them over a little bit back and forth and get them right where you want it to be. And I think that looks good before you tighten up both of the screws. Again, put some downward pressure on these when you're tightening them up so they don't slip out. That's most of the time why people slip out of the screw and strip it out, is because they're not pressing down in hard enough, or the end of their driver is already chewed up or something like that, you know. And look, so the end of the screws is right flush basically with that frame. So that's exactly what it's supposed to be. So what do I think of this little nurse? I think it's a great little knife, man. It's a little on the chunky side, given how small it is. Let's see, what is the weight on this guy? .6 ounces for about a 3-inch blade. So that's not crazy. Not crazy at all. Well, here's a, let's see. Tucson TS 346. 7.5 ounces for about a 3 3/4 inch, 4-inch blade, something like that. So it's better ratios than that. 3.6, not bad, man, not bad. Action is just really, really nice. Like the slightest little movement, and it goes closed. And it sounds really nice too. Listen to that sound. Just a nice little clank. Can your thumb open it? I forget. I can, but I kind of have to make sure I'm holding it on the pocket clip on the other side, so I don't hold the lock bar. If I hold the lock bar, I think it's probably not gonna. Yeah, so my fingers are on the lock bar there. That makes it so where it doesn't want to open. You can see where the two colors mix right here. It came out really nice. Gavko Nurse, very drop shutty. Basically, it's a, oh, you can do this. It's got the secret. A lot of the Gavko knives have a little secret flipper, so you can, well, I got to get my fingers off the lock bar. There we go. So you can flip it by putting your nail right against that little guy. There you go. Nice. My thresher has the same thing, and I actually opened up that area so that I could actually get my finger on it and flip it like normal, like a normal flipper with some effort. This one, not as much. And for some reason, the guy who I'm doing this work for, I don't think he wants the back of his knife all opened up. Just a hunch. So I love this thing, man. I think it's a great knife. I think if you can get yourself a drop, so the company that worked with Gavko on this one was Drop, and I think they were like kind of like the money guys, and I'm not sure who actually made it. So I don't think Drop makes things. They facilitate things, I think. So it's a Drop Gavko thresher, but it might have been made by Riot, or it might have been made by Wii or something like that. I think my thresher is a Wii, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was also a Wii. It's definitely really, really well made. Look at that choil right there. Really, really nice. It's interesting. It almost looks like someone did some work there and made the choil bigger. I wonder if they did. You know what? I'm going to look and see. I'm going to find a picture of a Drop Gavko thresher and see if that choil has been improved. It looks like it was. Let's see. We'll put it right up here and see. And then it'll say, wow, it was improved. Or, nope, that's exactly how they came. Anyway, so the reverse or unboxing, unboxing, however that works, is almost complete. Let me get it back in its case. And then it's going to go back in the box that it came from. And then we're going to ship it out. Have a nice day.